I was I was literally burning off steam just to call you nice, just to read some of the in course of A Course in Miracles. But I gotta change my vape thing. Oh Lord, I'm really depressed about my boyfriend. I mean, like he always wanted me to be a vlogger after he passed away, but he was totally fulfilled listening to me, and he did. He always knew when I was angry, and he lightly, and it did calm me down. It's the magic of love. I did. I called you all nice. I said, I'm sorry, but you're never going to get out of it. And I know that that means like I know you would rather be nice and just drink to be nice than to not be nice. Mark knows I have a crush on him. Like, sorry, Ryan, but he does. I don't know if he cares. He came over and then stripped into his underwear. That's caring, I think. Right, I deleted his number because I felt like I needed space because I was going to be pregnant. I would have just been screaming at him that men suck. Maybe I should have. Yeah, I should have just screamed at him about all my psychosis and shit. Let's read this. So, the new interpretation of stability. Would God have left the meaning of the world to your interpretation? If he had, he has no meaning. Right, so what do you think? He's like superpower? It's just like hierarchy, it's just like monarchy. Well, he kind of was. It's actually the Holy Spirit, it says. They gave you one purpose, which is to always remain better than yourself. Because war happens, destruction happens. That's what the Bible's all about. Is how to feel better during destruction. So it says, judgments make you heighten. See, I'm such a sleight of hand. Judgments make you heighten on your meaning. Like my sister, she was pregnant. She said a lot of bitchy shit. It's not her fault. It's not like what she actually meant. And that yourself as a demonstration is always where you get stuck. And what you really have done is when you have no meaning. So when you're just like blank headed, staring at the wall or watching TV, that is when you really get back to God. And everything is shifting as they change. You're also doing good. It's just bickering and yelling at people and saying it. You get it? Like you're saying it. Somebody who has anxiety, you're saying it. Is it's still you're still making a positive change for God. But yes, I try to spend time by myself. It just doesn't work. Guess I'm not that good. Judgment, fear judgment is a justified cause. So when you have anxiety, the police come in, they're like, and did you? And you're like, you said it. I didn't. You said it. And you have anxiety. That's you letting the police know that you're really sensitive. And sensitive isn't like always this labeled thing of like special needs and stuff. But you gotta stop. You can't always be like that. Unless you like literally are autistic or something. Because then there's room for more movement. And that's basically what it says. So when you have judgment shared for everything and everyone you see, you have no judgment to learn. So you're like, oh, all the trees are sick and blah, blah, blah. But we have so many employees working on it. God always did. He always had his gardener and stuff. Then you're like, you're just clogging up your adrenals, which is like your heart, or like the mini organs around your heart. And holy shit, I got stabbed in an adrenal. Yeah, it's probably why I don't see myself. I see myself for the pain. I don't see myself for what it is. People say beautiful. I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. The sacrifice that allows things to happen, because we're talking the Bible, right? The sacrifice that allows things to happen are separate from no meaning. So it's like when you're having a Christmas day with your family and friends or whoever, and you're just, people are talking. It doesn't matter if you're listening or playing with the dogs. It's happening, and it's happening for God, for you. So when you're in solitude, like fighting war, all this shifts and it stands for you. And like, you're literally, when you rescue other soldiers, you're considered a hero of all heroes. Because you can't help it. There's so many threats. You are so threatening that it kind of all slants, instead of being like this, it kind of all goes like this. And your morals are indifferent from your country and where your blood was born. So when you save another person, it's like, wow, I was surprised you just didn't leave them in the dust and like scared for yourself. You're a hero. And that's the lowest a hero. Oh, yeah. So, but of course, that's a great honor. I saved 20 men, and I just like when I got the arsenic treatment on my legs, I got many after that, and I went. But yeah, I saved 20 men, and then I was like, I'm going to have a baby. And then I pretended in my mind that I wasn't making it seem like it was a complete disaster. It really wasn't. I mean, I had to lose 250 pounds, but that's just not doing what you don't normally do for me. It's easy. I need to blow my nose. 8. Changeless reality. Appearances deceive but can be changed. Reality is less. Like, somebody with a good heart will look at you and be like, Amber, you are black. And I'm like, but my pain makes me see that I'm so pale. So there's that, like I said, because I'm a prophet already. I told a virgin that I just wanted to do them, but I won't. While I was married, yeah. It was, the police said it was nice, but they had to come talk to me for it because nobody's ever been that ballsy in like human history. Illusions. What makes illusions real is temptation. So I must be out of my mind of finding somebody to help me day to day to not be in trouble with the police one day, keep me calm, just for fucking screaming. And they weren't even fucking here for that. It had nothing to do with me. My neighbors are cool. They cussed me off when I was banging on the roof telling them to shut the fuck up at 3 a.m. They were taking care of their kids. I just thought it was funny. So, reality is changeless. And it's not even how you smell. It's not how you see. It's not even how you hear. It's like literally sideburns to here is where reality sits in your brain. And when you lose it, you die. Like people get like a porcupine quill shoved underneath their cheek into the big fucking African porcupines. And they just say, I don't know how to face this kind of thing. And then they freaking die. I don't want you to die. Okay, so there's many things that are wrong about reality. Things that obscure your comfort would be something that's considered a sleep dreaming. And a happy dream is where you want to go with your life. And everything can be so easily changed because the solitude of reality that you can't be a pilot and a chef. You can be a cook and you'll always get fired because you'll always be a pilot because when you're employed, that's what they do. Kind of thing. Um, I've done 16,000 surgeries. Yeah. It's so bad I suffocate. Oh, yeah. The sicky blanket. Who wants to have tonight? Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? So there was a gift bestowed upon God's Son, and that was when when he was tempted, he was still gifted. He's like, I know the Bible so well. He's like slaying the shit out of these freaking assholes trying to take over his village. God's Son, Matthew, I think his name was Mortho. Well, anyway, and he would write down his kill marks, and then he would draw a perfect picture of like delight. It wasn't even gruesome. It'd be like a stork or something. So in respects, he was healed and whole. So when he started getting beat up eventually, I guess like he wasn't so good at drawing it right after a battle, but to God, he was perfect. My problem is I get winded unless it's high intensity. Like, you know, I used to be like the carpenter and everything. Carpenter, plumber. So the lessons endlessly repeat. So you change a chapter in the book, so you're kind of just like next year, but the lessons just grow and enhance and enlighten. They have endorphins to help you grow into a wise old person when you get there. And that's a gift to God to everybody, that you have a chance to grow up to be wise and old. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's just, that's why it's such a a shame when somebody dies young. That's really what you're thinking. Man, he didn't even get a chance to live, no, to tell about life. They didn't get a chance to even tell you about life. Let's switch to a different page. I got the table of contents saved. Today I learned to give as I receive. Ah, that's a good one. I should be like, every time Coral gets better, I should buy her a sweet gift. So it is not what has been given to you. It's all within the mind and purely the mind and sinless forever. So yeah, let's go to another one. I am entrusted with the gifts of God. My mind went dark on that one. It's too much of the same. The justice of God. The link to truth. Oh, that's a good one. So, everlasting love. So, if it makes sense that it could go on, and even when somebody's better than their mom, better than their father, that nobody feels like the obligation to hate themselves because they're not as genetically profound. So, it's really complicated. I should probably read all of it. And the trick is to never separate your life from God's life. And if you're trying to be the person who can like use a sword and then draw, then you're supposed to keep his son in mind, is what he was saying. You got to keep the stars in mind, the holiness, and the perfect purity. So like your sex life is allowed to be private. It's when it doesn't reach privacy, either that person is gone or it's not good anymore. And you can be pure and like not like pure and like not have sex. This is God's country. I can tell we're all a bunch of hicks. And to never separate God from Christ. So, that's his other son. Jesus is Christ. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm basically done. I've been on here for a bit. I can't drink anymore. I look faint in the mirror so bad. What does it matter what I look like? I feel fine. Oh, the pants are falling down. See, I'm not very wise. Like I am, it's like second thought. It's like, oh wait, second thought. No, I'm a fucking idiot. My name is Amber Shepherd, and I'm 29 years old. I'd be horrified if somebody was abusing. Well, that's what I said. The young girl got pregnant really young. And we let her have a few kids, and then they beat the shit out of her and the kids. And yeah. John was telling, the landlord was telling Aaron. That's what's been scaring me, Dad. Yeah, that's honestly what's been halting me being happy after Owen passed away. Just feeling like it's like they're not going to be my kids because I went to boarding school. Yeah, they're my kids. The one. My ex sister in law always asked me, why did you pay for my kids to go to boarding school? I said, because I could see right through what you were saying to what you meant, and that you really wanted your kids to like really not be left out. And because legally you're a secretary, so I could do it. So I did. I think that my dad has a hard time not knowing his baby anymore. His daughter-in-law, like his daughter. I think he does because he literally said she went to drugs, and I fell for it for too long because I haven't been drinking at all, like at all lately. I'm not saying she wouldn't. I'm just saying she didn't. I can believe it, like up in the wind. It's only 6, eh? I need to go to the doctor when I do. I've been taking my meds early, like every time. Waking up early to take them early, to take them early again, because they're 3 times a day. Just to want them early at night, too. You'll probably just say, you have to eat sugar. I should probably go buy a bag of candy. And chips. The best kind for diabetes of my kind, which is hypoglycemia, is barbecue, like Old Dutch or Lay's or whatever. It's really nice to be like somewhat cared for by like people that I probably have met. I'm such a fucking gorilla. But on a hunting trip, they took some pictures for the RCMP like scroll line. I look normal. It's just crazy. It's crazy to be in me. I'm always like yeah, I'm anxious. I'm not anxiety. I'm anxious. Like when do I get to run on the roads? And then I get there and my legs hurt. But if I can do the splits again. The state of sinlessness. It's when you no longer feel like you should attack, like I do sometimes. Mm. It's a diet and a prayer, just so you know. It's Buddhism. Mm. And it takes a lot of like lacklessness of pain. It's an illusion, is what it says right here. And that you really could be hurting a lot more people with your sanctity of holiness. But when you draw the meanings to others, when you're younger, and then it starts to say that you start to become your own enemy. You start to make Jesus an enemy of God because you just wish to remain a stagnant person, and eventually you end up hiding out and like getting the something to be feared instead of loved. Oh, believe me, I don't want to get laid with this hygiene. I just don't see why it's saying it to. Why you would do any sin except for just get laid. Like, oh, I'm going to be mean to somebody because they look like me or they don't. It's like that's at the side of your head. Getting laid is like right there. The center is always good. I tricked my neighbor into falling in love with me. Yeah. He said his dick was so broken that he couldn't relax. So I was amazed. I'm amazed at myself and you for falling for it. Just tricking him that I'm humping him, but I was just putting his penis back in place. My boyfriend was so proud because he got all the texts about everything I did without him. He's like, you actually tricked someone. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. It's a penis has like 4 layers of bone. So you kind of, you know, took a long time of assessing. He's like, don't worry, it's been broken forever. I was like, okay, well, holy shit, that's scary. You can be in love with me. It's not that I didn't like you, I just didn't know you. A little hindrance. That's what I feel a lot. I'm going insane with it. There are 2 teachers only, and the pointed different ways. And that's Buddha and Jesus. And they go like this: Buddha's here for you, Jesus is here for you. And if you always remember your right to your left and your up and your down, you'll go to heaven. For all the hindrance you feel and sometimes shame, the pity of yourself for trying, and because the pity comes when you don't remember the outcome. That's psychology too. I never remember Ryan G, so I always feel so ashamed. I'm like, oh, 10 years later, he's on YouTube. It's because I work so hard on his house that I go home and drink beer and zonk and sweat it out. And then I go back and, oh my god, we finished this entire house. And I like barely recall. That's why Colby barely knew who his boss was. I said, he was my military teacher when I was in like grade 3. Oh, he must be nice. Colby would go over there for dinners and go home and sweat it out. He didn't know who he was. His boss was, really. He didn't remember the nights out. And I was like, well, at least you're safe, right? He's a good guy. Like, there's no babies popping up that are yours and aren't yours. Anyway, he married his boss's daughter. I love her so much. It was hard. She was so sick. No, you know what it was? It was like a pain in my tooth. She got a big poofy face, like she's fat and had a baby, and she's kind of moseying there, talking lots, having a good time, I would say, but I doubt she enjoys it as much as she should have been able to, like as much as life should have allowed her to. She was one of my best friends in high school. Believe me, I almost like the stories I tell, so fucking true. I just made myself rampage with a gun pointed to my head by a militant to fucking kill all these kids in high school. And I didn't suspect. I had an eerie feeling, but it was a light eerie feeling. And that's gross. I forget that guy's name that I killed everyone for. But they hated him and did all these crimes against him because he lived in the back of a restaurant and worked at the restaurant and went to school. And then when he put on a police uniform, they fucking snapped. My God. Yeah, I lived in a barn. Well, basically. I made a fat check and finished paying off owning the island of Dubai. And it's all going to be inherited. So, that's cool. And I do want more kids, but only because, let's think about the pain. There was no pain. The food, like, food, Tylenol, pills that I take. I was worried about the pelvic rub, but I can buy a belt. If love even ever happens. How's it going to happen when I'm like, babies? Maybe that's the point. I want to be alone with my dada. The hero of the dream. So when this is Buddhism, when you look at a body, it's supposed to be a christening light. And I feel most people are like that. You know, some people see melons. Okay, you don't know me. I'm a bitch. I know. I've said a lot of mean things. But it's supposed to be like a dream, glistening light, like the music that I listen to, the frequencies, like that kind of artwork. So because the body is like looks like a galaxy when you look at them innocently, and they're innocent, it pains the joys to be different and told apart. So then you'll start to see auras, and then you can be going to school to become a doctor. Sometimes the dreams are weaker than the body itself. So you'll see like abs and stuff within like this ominous haze where you just want to listen and be correspondent. That's somebody who desires to be the hero. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I should probably go to bed at designated time. Well, I'm pretty hungry for dinner again, so I have another container. So I'm gonna do that and maybe take a shot and just do a silly, like, whatever flows upon my mind video. And grab another drink. I'm gritting my teeth, so I think that's dinner. I have dessert. Yeah. Lucky me. Yeah, I miss my kid and it gets hard, so I think you miss your kid every second of every day. I think that's what helps people grow.